What's up, fellow kings and queens? How's everyone doing? Thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you so much for your support. First things first, my daughter is sleeping right now, so if you do hear any yelling, screaming, or breaking, that is my 1 year old daughter Luna. But right now she's sleeping in the living room. Excuse me. So as of right now, I do not have a cigarette. So I'm going through some fucking drama right now. Drama with myself, of course, and then of course my drama leads on to other people. When I am a chain smoker. I started smoking cigarettes when I was like 13, 14ish, off and on. Um, and then I really started smoking when my family found out, probably about 16. Um, yeah, I was about 16 when my family found out. And I quit smoking cigarettes when I was 19. I quit for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And then I started smoking cigarettes again. So, and I've been smoking ever since. So I am a hardcore chain smoker. And when I don't have my cigarettes, it is drama. And I can't blame anyone but myself. But I just go on with drama. Drama, 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 drama. Um, of course, not with Luna. She's just a baby. I'm never gonna take anything out on her. But Kara has to put up with it, of course. Family members, coworkers. It sucks. And I get told all the time, "Why don't you quit smoking cigarettes?" Because I don't fucking want to. That's why. I don't want to quit smoking cigarettes. I don't know why I don't want to. Well, right now with my diet going, I really don't want to take the chance because I know when you quit smoking cigarettes, you gain weight. Um, that's one thing about smoking cigarettes is it's supposed to help you stay thin from the rumor, but yeah, I guess that's just a myth. But what's it called? Since I have my diet, I don't want to take a chance of gaining any weight, so I will not stop smoking cigarettes. But that's just not the reason, I just don't want to quit smoking. And I hate the fact how it smells because you do smell it. Like I smell it on my jacket. So I feel bad for my coworkers who got to smell it, stuff like that all the time, or, customers and stuff like that. But when I don't have my cigarettes like today, it's just drama. I just feel like getting in arguments. I feel like fighting. This is not, I mean, physically fighting. I mean, like, okay, if I go to a gas station right now and a guy bumps into me, I'm like, fuck this, let's go. It's all motherfucker. Fuck you. That's how I feel like when I don't have my cigarettes. And unfortunately, I don't have my cigarettes today. Kara had to go to work, so she didn't have time to run and get them for me. So today's just been a crazy day. It's just not a good day for me. Couple things I wanted to go over. Drama for the life. So basically what I notice is that everybody are actors. Okay, now this is what I mean. Everybody deals with drama and stress and everything almost every day. The average person, and when you go to work, you kind of try to put on this persona of great customer service, great personality, stuff like that. So when it comes to stuff like that, I am horrible at doing it. When I don't have my cigarettes, I'm just down. I'm just like, fuck. And that's how I feel like today. I'm just like, fuck, I don't have my cigarettes. And I have no way to go get cigarettes because I have my daughter and it's too wet and rainy outside. And I hate the fucking rain. Okay. I know everybody like loves the rain. Me personally, I fucking hate it. I hate the fucking rain. I hate it when it rains. I can't stand it. Now, I do know that we need rain. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I saw Hoover, last time I saw like a picture of Hoover Dam, you can actually see the wet mark from where the lack of rain is because you gotta, needs water, needs rain. So, um, from the mountains, like, or whatever it is, the dam, you can see where the wet mark used to be, where the water used to be way up here years ago. And now it's like way down here. And now it's a bit lower because it literally here in Vegas, for those of you that don't know, I'm in Las Vegas. It literally rains a couple times a year. That's it. It rarely rains here. When it's like a 70% chance, you might get some sprinkles. And from what I've heard, I never lived in California. Well, I lived in California for 2 weeks, but that was it. Um, when you're in California and it says 10% chance of rain, it's like pouring down. So I don't know why it rarely rains here. I mean, but it really does. And of course, today when I need to walk down to the gas station and go get smokes, it's fucking raining. Just the cloud is just over my head. That's how I feel right now. It's just drama, 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 drama. And I was sitting here while Luna was asleep. I was going through like my insurance stuff on the computer and life insurance and everything like this. Now, I am going to talk about some fucking drama today. I am going to be talking about my son. Okay. I will be talking about the history of how I lost my son and everything like that. So, for those of you that don't know, I do have a 9-year-old son. His name is Mason. His name was Mason James Minogue Brower. Now, the last time I saw my son, he was 3 years old. Okay. He just turned 3. Actually 2 weeks after Baba died, so 2 weeks, so it was January of 2016. That was the last time I saw him. He's amazing. He really is. I mean, incredibly smart and looks identical to me. I mean, he really does. It's a sore subject. I hate talking about this. So, I met my ex when I was working in 2008 when I was working at a car dealership. Unfortunately, at this time, I actually met her through my current girlfriend at the time. My current girlfriend at the time and my ex were like, they were like best friends, or no, not best friends. What am I saying? I keep getting these fucking spam calls. They were friends from like high school or some shit like that, and my current girlfriend at the time like would take my truck to work because I would work all day and she only worked like 4 or 5 hours at Champ Sporting Goods at the time, and she would go to work, and then by the time I get off she would just come pick me up. It was my truck though, and she would actually hang out with my with her friend, which ended up being my girlfriend. So I actually tried to hook up my ex-girlfriend with my best friend. Because my best friend at the time, he was like my brother. I loved him to death. We grew up together. His name was Max, and I tried to hook them up, and when they went out on a blind date, and then that didn't work out. So I ended up breaking up with my girlfriend, and so far, so me and my ex got together. Ended up moving in together. Unfortunately for her and for everybody else around at that time, that's actually when I started taking the painkillers. Okay, I went to the dentist. I had a tooth pulled, and they prescribed me painkillers, and I got hooked right away. I got hooked on painkillers right away. And I know in some of my other videos, like Addiction Life and stuff, I talk about the history of painkillers, and I'm not ashamed to talk about it. I'm really not. It was it took so many years of my life away where now I just want people to learn and realize what they're getting into when they take that shit. So, anyways, so we were living together, and because of my addiction, we ended up having to move out because we, couldn't afford it because I ended up losing my job, selling my truck, selling, my Wii. I had a Wii, I had an Xbox, and, printers and DVDs, everything to get the pills. And then she got pregnant with my son. And during my son's birth, now I went to rehab about 2-3 months before my son was born. And I relapsed about 2 weeks after I got out of rehab. And I'm going to talk about the recovery thing in a minute. Okay. The day my son was born, my mother was there, and my ex-girlfriend's dad was there. And my mother had painkillers because she had an injury like on her leg. She broke her ankle a long time ago, and she was getting pain medication. I stole her pain medication just so I can be like normal enough to see my son's birth. Because when I didn't have my pills, I was detoxing hard. I was withdrawing hard. I would withdraw like super quick, and then if I knew I wasn't getting any, it would be 10 times worse. So she went to the cafeteria for a minute, and my ex-girlfriend's dad went to the restroom or something where I had my chance. So I went in my mother's purse, stole the painkillers just so I could see my son's birth, just to be function. Because if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to function. I was detoxing real bad. So, yeah, so I had my son. I was part of his life for a little while. I didn't have a job though. Me and my ex were not living together. We were living with family. She was living with her family. I was living with mine. And of course, her family was like, "You need to break up with him. You need to file for sole custody. You need to get this guy out of your life. He's a piece of shit." Blah 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 blah. You like telling her everything, and she was one of those people. Even though she was, very smart, she graduated from UNLV, everything, but she still listened to her family, especially her mother more than anyone. I got along with her dad really well, but who unfortunately has since passed away from what I recently discovered. Rest in peace to you, sir, because he was a good guy. He really was. Great father and grandfather. But so years she put up with the addiction for a long time. There's no question it was my fault. I take full responsibility. She did end up cheating, and that's what really savaged the relationship. But I would say it was savaged before then because of my addiction. I was taking about 50 to 60 Lortab 10s a day. I was stealing from people. My family didn't want anything to do with me. My cousins cut me off. My sister and brother-in-law cut me off. My grandmother gave up on me. It was so much. It was so bad. My addiction took everything. And then she ended up going to court. I had warrants for traffic, and I didn't have any money to pay the tickets, and I wasn't paying child support because at this time she already filed for child support and everything like that. Fast forward some years. Okay, now all through these years, I was still addicted to painkillers. I sober up years later. I go detox and sober up, and now I get a great job, start working, start paying child support and everything. Now it's time to go to court. The judge terminated my rights. They took my drug test. They gave me a drug test, passed the drug test. I brought them proof that I had a great job and that I was promoted so many times and that, I'm stable. I had my own place and I'm engaged and I also have a little girl on the way. The judge just wasn't having it. I didn't have a lawyer. She had a lawyer. So the chances of me winning was slim to none. And I actually YouTubed that judge. I don't think one person that didn't have a lawyer won a case. So I knew the chances were slim. Even though at court it seemed like I was gonna win towards the very end because I was paying child support. Yeah, I had phone records to where I was trying to reach her, but she wasn't responding. But her lawyer just tore into it at the end. So, anyways, and it caused a lot of drama in my life, because of my addiction. I take full responsibility. And it is so fucking hard. And I meet people all the time and they hate their baby daddies or baby mamas, but they're still part of their child's life. They still get to see their child. And that's the hardest part for me because it's like, man, I had to be the one to never see my son again. And it kills me. It really does. I thank God every day for my daughter. I truly do. I precious every moment with her, every moment. But it's like, fuck, man. Things are different now. I've been sober for so long, many years. I have a great job. I live in a great area. I don't have any warrants, and it's just, I lost it all because of those fucking pills. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the pills. Okay. So when I started taking Lortabs, like I said earlier, I went to a dentist and I got wisdom teeth pulled. And before this, when I was younger, about 17, 18, 19, 17, 16, 17, 18, I was doing all a bunch of drugs. I was smoking weed every day, doing cocaine a lot, ecstasy, mushrooms. I think that's it. I never done crystal, never done heroin. A lot of cocaine. I did a lot of cocaine back in the day. I think that's really, I can't think of anything. But, I was experimenting like any teenager, I guess. And then I sobered up. When I was 18, I actually didn't even smoke weed for a long time. I ended up moving to a different area, which was over on Charleston Cimarron, and I sobered up. And I was like 18, 19, and then I went and had the wisdom teeth pulled, and the doctor gave me Lortabs, and I got hooked right away. I mean, they took me over right away. First, I started taking them because the pain. Then I started taking them because it made me sleep so well. I literally like would have butterflies while I was sleeping. It was weird. And then I had to start taking them because I got addicted. And I didn't realize for the longest time I was addicted until one time I used to get them every day, just take a couple at a time. First it was 2, then it was 4, then it was 6. Then I realized I was taking 12 at a time, 10 at a time. This is when I was only taking 10 at a time about 3 times a day. So I was taking about 30 a day. And one day I didn't have any. And I started like my legs were hurting, I was sweating, nose running. It was the worst fucking night of my life. And I kept remember watching the movie Showgirls. I was watching the movie Showgirls, and I was just detoxing through that whole movie, just waiting for a text. Like, please, dude, just hook me up, please. And never got it done. Excuse me. And then this went on for a long time, and then I ended up taking, like I said, about 60 Lortabs a day, and this went on for many years. Roxy's, because Roxy's an opiate and stuff like that. And that's the thing, is people don't realize that Lortabs and Percocets and Roxy's, those are opiates. That's the same thing as heroin. Yes, it's prescribed by a doctor, but it's still an opiate addiction. It's a heroin addiction, pretty much, just a legal form of it. It's like Oxycontin, it's a legal form of heroin. Um, I went to rehab. The first time I went to rehab was right before my son was born. Like I was saying, I relapsed 2 weeks later. The second time I went to rehab, I relapsed. I think it was like 3 days later. And then the third time I went to rehab, I relapsed the same day I got out. I got out that day, I relapsed. The fourth time I went to rehab, the last time I went to rehab, they put me on Suboxone. Because I went to Monte Vista treatment the first 3 times. The fourth time I went to Spring Valley. Spring Valley. Was it Spring Mountain or Spring Valley? I think it was Spring Valley. Spring Valley Treatment Center. And they medicate you with something else. They give you what they call Suboxone. Now, Suboxone is a form. It was a pill. You don't feel any withdrawal symptoms, none at all. You're not knocked out like at Monte Vista. I was knocked out like the first 2 or 3 days. You just sleep. They keep you so heavily medicated. And then I went to like I said, Spring Mountain Treatment Center. Hold on, let me turn this light on because it looks so dark right now. Let me get this light turned on real quick. Stand by 1 second, guys. Oh, how I got this set up? Knocking the computer off. Sorry about that. And they gave me Suboxone. Is it gonna work? I don't think the camera's gonna work. I don't know why it keeps doing this. I need like a podcast or computer wizard to come in here and like hook up all the connections for me, because obviously this shit just don't work for me. And then I got out, stayed sober for a while, and I did relapse a couple times, but I wasn't hooked yet. Well, yeah, I did relapse quite a bit. And then finally, the last time, I detoxed at home. I didn't go to a treatment center. And that was probably the worst fucking feeling I ever felt in my life. In rehab, the detox lasts like 4 to 5 days. And at home, it lasted over a week. Like, I mean, that shit was fucking horrible. Every day, oh God, I can't even describe what it felt like. It was so horrible for so long. Then I went to go see a doctor. I finally found out about this doctor that deals with people with addictions, and he told me that he doesn't think, because of my history of addiction, that he prescribed me Suboxone, and he said, "You're probably going to need Suboxone for the rest of your fucking life." Like, I was like, wow. That was 4 years ago, or going on 5 years. And wait, is it going on 5 years? 4 years? I can't remember. I don't know. I don't keep track. A lot of people keep track of their sobriety date. Me personally, I just try to stay focused. So I have never felt better in my life to where I'm at today. And I just want to help people get sober. People that are dealing with addictions when it comes to narcotics addiction and stuff like that, because it's the worst kind of addiction there is. And a lot of people, especially when they're first starting, they don't know what they're doing. They're doing it just for fun and stuff like that. And it's not fucking worth it. There's nothing wrong with weed. Okay. I'm totally 100% behind marijuana. Even when marijuana, before became legal, I was behind it, and I wasn't even smoking weed. There's nothing wrong with marijuana, I don't think. I believe if you go to work every day and pay your bills, there's nothing wrong with you laying on your couch at the end of the night and smoking a bowl to unwind. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like people that go home and have a drink to themselves. I just don't see nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to addiction, when it comes to pills and, baby's up. So that is going to end the addiction podcast and drama podcast for right now. I have got to go. My daughter is waking up, and she doesn't like waking up alone. So let me see what she did. Hi. Okay, yeah, I got to go. All right, honey, I'm coming. I'm coming, baby. I'm right here.